Howdy, peeps. Yes, it is I are here. Evening, Aaron, evening, Anthony. Yes, starting early because D finished early, so got myself sorted and ready as quick as possible, so there wasn't a big gap. Hey, we shall see what happens. Maybe if Father Fish starts a bit early, I'll finish at the same time as him. So there we go. Same time as he starts. We shall see how we go. Thank you very much, Anthony. Hey, Chewy. Yeah, I was saying about that whole salmon thing. Obviously, yeah, I think it's a disaster as well. But yeah, we both know, well, we all know that good old America is run by a government that doesn't care about environment or people ahead of money. So that is pretty much, in my book anyway, why that thing's happened. If the restrictions were there, the safety protocols, etc., were there to stop that happening, it wouldn't happen, but they cost money. Yeah, we know where that one goes. It's Scotland, Brian. You should know by now. Summer is on a Tuesday afternoon. And trying to figure out which is the 0.2 and the 0.35 for the apex. Yeah, can't help. Yeah, because yeah, well, they deserve to get sued. That's that's that. Spoiled living in London, 5.5 years, good weather. Yeah. Hey Brian, how are you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that never ends well, Aaron. Once you figure out which is which, put a black mark on the back of one of the needles. And then make sure you keep track of which nozzle is which. Yeah, that would have been the sensible thing to do, Chewy, but at the time they probably didn't think they were either going to get caught or get in trouble for it. Morning, Pam. How are you? Hope you're on the mend, Evening Undertaker. Cool. Yeah, so my outdoor fish in the ponds stay outdoors all year round. I mean, they are just comets. I say just comets. They're comets. But yeah, they do okay, it seems. They've been down to -10 and survived. Yeah, should we try and dodge that subject for a bit, Jerry? Maybe once we both had a bit more caffeine. Yeah, so what's been going on in Sharpie's fish room? Well, starting with some bad news. Robert the epistogrammer is no more. Unfortunately, Roberta has, despite being a quarter of his size, has killed him. I just, me and female fish, I just end up with the murderers, basically. Although good news is he left her with some fry, so now I think I might have that sorted. Hopefully I can raise his fry up and then keep the generations go. Jess, lovely Jess, how are you, my dear? It's been a while. Good to see you. Hope you're all well and safe and happy. And I take it you're not getting well soon then, Pam. Bumped yourself a bit harder than you thought, or hopefully no casts or slings or anything like that. There's one bloody fly left indoors. It won't go anywhere near a fly paper. It won't land in a bloody fish tank. Healing so. Well, I'll say it is something I have noticed, Pam. And I'm not saying you're old, because I'm not not crazy enough to say that 2 weeks in a row. But the older you get, the longer it takes things to heal. There's that fly. I've noticed it. What would have, when I was younger, you know, broken bone would fix, you know, fingers and ribs and stuff would fix themselves in 2 or 3 weeks, and now it takes several months. Wait until I see the breeding behaviour of the electric blue Acara. Yeah, we shall see. Hopefully I haven't got another murderess. Mind you, she's got 2 boys, so if she kills one, I should be okay with another one. Oh, happy anniversary, Jess. Well done for putting up with him for 5 years. Another 5 years, you'd have got less for murder. May kill the other one when they pair up. We shall see what happens, Cheery. If not, I've got, if that looks like it's happening, I've got a spare tank. Well, yeah, technically I haven't, but you know how it is. We can always find somewhere to stick that one fish that we need to find a home for. That is the other news. Is the baby cribs have gone into their grow out tank, which I got last weekend. No, I didn't cycle it. No, I didn't use old aquarium water. I just filled it up, let it come up to temperature and settle for 24 hours. Chucked a chunk of wood in out of one of the pleco tubs, which has got some anubias on it, and airline siphoned all the criblets out of their tank and literally poured them out of the jug into the new tank. And they seem to be doing quite well. The adults not so well. There was quite a bit of fighting over why the babies weren't there anymore. So Missy Crib doesn't have a tail at the moment, and Daddy Crib has he's missing chunks of his tail. But I'll quite happily take some tail nipping compared to what happened to poor old Robert. And I thought it was quite funny when she came and nipped my fingers while I put them in the tank while she had babies in there, but I'm guessing Robert's head was a bit softer than my fingers. Time to get the magnifying glass. Oh yeah, if you got the nozzles figured out. But the other way to check if you're gentle is to see how far each needle pushes through each nozzle. If you know which nozzle's which, you can then see. You should be able to work it out that way. Yes, chicklet behaviour is chicklet behaviour. As I say, with a bit of luck, Bertie will keep them in line. If not, Spaz will. So, and that's the 2 boys there. The girl is hanging out over here. A generally friendly, happy fish so far, anyway. I haven't tried to eat anyone yet. Anyway, that's always a bonus. Not that there's anyone left in there. They could probably. Well, you've still got 2 Ember Tetras. They could manage them. Perhaps I'll pop my leftover guppies back in there and see how long they last. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to get any money for them. I'm just keeping them alive at this moment. Even if I take them into the wholesale line, basically know they're going to be live food for some of his cichlids. So, yeah. Do I feed his cichlids or do I feed my cichlids? Anyway, so yeah, baby crib's safe, happy. Shrimp tank going well. Adult crib's okay. Robert no more. Baby apistos. I think we're up to date with what's been going on in the tanks. The next set of videos, I'm planning on is a redo of this little tank down here, which is currently home to the Celestial Paldanios and Tanky. Tanky being my one successfully raised baby apisto. I think Tanky might be a male, but if he is, could I get away with putting another male in with Roberta, or would she take unkindly to that and decide munch time? Don't necessarily do apistos pair bond for life. If you put another male in there, will the female reject or kill? I'm not entirely sure on that. Only kids, always good to give a kid some fish. Yeah, I'm not allowed near kids, Chewy. No, actually, the only kids I kind of know are Mary's, and I've currently got Nadine's goldfish in my pond. So, that kind of worked the other way around. I ended up with theirs. Have I ever heard of Ravenous Feast? Now, that one definitely rings a bell. As a name, have I listened to them? Probably not. Oh, and still not sponsored, by the way. And if I missed, hi Chevy. So does anyone know about a apisto? If I were to put another male in with an established female, would that cause problems, or would I just have to move them to a different tank for a bit and then pop them back in and put them somewhere new to get acquainted before putting them back into the tank I want them in? Would that work? There's a little tanky down here, I'm pretty sure is a boy. Looking at his fins anyway. Where, if you can see him through the algae. Kind of. Yeah. Are you a boy? Are you? Yeah. Yeah, I think you are. So, yeah, but that's one idea. Other than that, it's going to probably have to be move Roberta on as well as the fry, and then maybe think of something else to go in that tank to breed. Possibly a different flavour of crib. Yeah, I'll have to hit up Amber. Maybe she might pop in later. We shall see. If she does, I shall ask Amby Bambi. It's in the storm warning. Ah, cool. The Venezuelan Mel. Evening, Kay. Filtering rainwater through coffee filter. Well, you've got plenty of rainwater, haven't you now? So you can't complain. um, for those who aren't in this area, we've had biblical amounts of rain the last few days in this part of the UK. I mean, I woke up, I think it's kind of started Wednesday evening, but it, I basically, I woke up, what, 5 o'clock Thursday morning, and it didn't stop raining all day. Or was that when? No, Wednesday it didn't stop raining all day. Thursday it didn't stop raining all day. And on Friday it kind of calmed down a bit in the afternoon. Hey Jessica, very cool name. So I always wear mismatched socks as well, but all my socks are black, so it doesn't matter. The only thing I have to get right is the length, so I don't end up with one ankle sock and one calf length sock. That's about the one difference between me in cold weather and hot weather, is the length of my socks. Chris, how the devil are you, my friend? Been keeping up to date? Yeah. ICUMTA. Yes. I'm not going to type that because we know what that spells. Germans use coffee grounds to soften water. Okay. Never mixing these nozzles again. It takes a... Yeah. That is the thing. To us Brits, coffee is a drink. It's not a lifestyle. It's something you get a spoonful, you chuck in the mug, you chuck in a couple of spoons of sugar, fill it 3/4 of the way up with hot water, and then the rest of the way with milk. Job done. It's, you know, well, I say it's not a thing. It is a thing in the UK, but yeah, there's no difference. It's just caffeine. That's the only reason you drink coffee is for caffeine, not for wonderful aromas and flavors and delicacy. No, no. It all tastes the same. Hey, Jason, welcome aboard. How are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, sometimes a bit of cream or chocolate in there. Oh, Spaz is trying to swim through my head again. It's also, Chris, because I haven't got a sense of smell and I've got very little sense of taste as well. Now this will probably sound like sacrilege, right? For a Brit, anyway. I don't like tea. In fact, I can't stand the stuff because without a sense of smell, tea is essentially hot watered down milk. The tea itself has very little flavour. It is just aroma that you mistake for taste. So yeah, tea to me is hot watered down milk. Spread that love, Jason. Exactly, yeah. Most taste comes from the smell. And when you can't smell, I mean, my sense of taste is at the very best what other people's are like when they got a really, really bad head cold. And can't breathe through your nose type cold. Not anymore, Jess. No. It's now become slightly more acceptable. You don't get flogged or put in the stocks anymore, saying you don't like tea. And maybe in Yorkshire you might still do, especially if you say you don't like Yorkshire tea. As Aaron said, he only likes it. How'd it work there? Yeah, Yorkshire, Lancashire. Yeah, it's. Nesquik. Nesquik and coffee. Yeah, that might work. Might make it worth drinking some Nesquik. I mean, generally, I'll only drink a hot drink if it's really cold and I need to warm up. Other than that, it's Coke and Red Bull or Monster. That's it. And if I do need to warm up, it's normally sort of middle of the day. So, yeah, Oxo or Bovril, a nice meaty flavoured drink. And see, the thing with me, coffee is I've never really been a huge fan of really hot food or really cold food or whatever. So I tend to go about half and half milk and whatever the liquid is, coffee. I can't see the point in boiling the water, making some, then you got to wait half hour before you can start drinking it. I'll make it because I want to drink it. Hey, Amano. So yeah, I tend to make it a bit colder. So more milk. And it's got to be full fat milk, none of your skimmed, semi-skimmed rubbish. Full fat or gold top or go home. If there ain't cream floating about in the top of your milk, it ain't milk. It's chalky water. Earl Grey. Oh, what was Picard's line? Was it Earl Grey Black? Something like that. Star Trek, Next Generation. Yes. The most French sounding name being English and drinking Earl Grey tea. I don't know whether they were trying to show some kind of multiculturalism, but Red Rose. Yeah, but it's all tea, it's all foul. He says quaffing a Red Bull quite happily, which most people would probably go, ugh. I've got to have something to wash down the chocolate and cream profiterole rolls. How's mask wearing been going? Customers have been having to mask up for over a month now, but some still either refuse or conveniently forget almost every time. And it's now coming up. Is it 3 weeks? 3 weeks I've been wearing masks full time every day, so 9 hours a day. Well, depending on the shift, 9, 8, 5, 4. But yeah, some people still just won't wear a mask because they can't see why they should. I think in that case I should be able to just either taser them or spray pepper spray into their face. Hey Jennifer, welcome aboard. Good to see you. Yeah, Aaron, they will be wearing them when it gets cold. Yeah, when it gets cold. It's amazing how much warmer a mask makes you. I did catch some of that Father Fish show, I think. Not all of it. Well, it's not. Yeah. If we could create a virus that just targeted idiots, that would be awesome. Unfortunately, we can't at the moment. Yeah, I say it's down at 4.7 pH. Yeah, I guess I'm going to put any thoughts of breeding cardinal tetras out of my head. That's like almost half of what my pH is out of the tap. If like the case, the majority of the world. Yeah, but then the world is to be a much better place, Chris. Reclosing the high schools. Yeah, I mean, we've had the universities in Scotland are all closed again because they decided to do Freshers' Week. They should all be chucked out of bloody university. If you're dumb enough to do that, you're not bright enough to be at university. There was one, I think it was one of all the residents had 600 cases, which is basically everyone in it. Yeah, I'll say it's a small shop I work in. You know what? Convenience stores in the UK, like it's the aisle is barely wide enough to fit a pushchair down, or a wheelchair, and yeah, they're just selfish asses, basically. As the young don't get, yeah, exactly. They get it. They just don't get anywhere near as ill as older people do. And it's the young people that aren't bloody doing what they should. Still hanging out with their mates, having parties, doing all the normal stuff rather than, so I reckon, I'm going to say it live on the record, I reckon we'll be in lockdown for Christmas. Set up another rank 3 tanks due to COVID boredom. Cycling, I enjoy tiger shrimplets and cold. What is this cycling people keep talking about? The complete fish from my time COVID is over. Let's go nuts at you. Well, see, this is one of the things where I know I've got a good one. I see, so many posts. Aaron will back me up on this. On modelling things. Got this kit. Just got to hide it from the wife, or we get the same thing in the fish fam, fishy groups as well. How can I sneak this tank past my husband or my wife? Well, the thing is, Mary buys me fish tanks and model kits. I mean, the one I got from last week that the criblets are now in, I had to make Mary take the money for that one. That kind of thing. I'm disappointed with the flash on the gym. Yeah. Told you they were going to be bad, Aaron. No training required, Chewy. How do I avoid letting the landlord in my fish? Hey, Big J. My new hobby knife is better than the Swan Morton. You see, I like a Swan Morton scalpel. Mainly because I think everyone here knows what I'm like when it comes to injuries. And having a scalpel that doesn't roll is really high on my list of priorities. Hey, Joe, good to see you too. All is relatively okay here. Nothing I can grumble about too madly. Some boy is oh, jeez. Fester's what I make of the London rally? Nothing, because I wasn't even aware of it, Amano. I know there was a bit of a protest in Norwich the other day. again, idiots protesting about having to wear masks or whatever. So they all gather together in a big group, not wearing masks. Yeah, exactly. It's just a bunch of numpties, exactly. So what's going to happen is that's going to cause the numbers to climb even more, which will require stricter restrictions and lockdowns. So they just screwed themselves. This is it. If everyone just did the right things would be better. When we had lockdown, most people were doing what they should. Um, you know, the numbers went down. It took a while, but the numbers came down. They started easing the restrictions. It leveled out and stayed low. It was all good. And people just started to go a little bit further, push it a little more, push it a little more, push it. And then, yeah. Well, it's the fact that you can get the lanyard things with for wearing the exemption badge on. It says you're exempt from wearing a mask, which I'm sure are too easy to get. You should have to get them from a doctor. And they'll be like fake pandemic and things like that on them. And you're not exempt. You're just wearing that so you don't have to wear a mask. Exactly. Yeah, it's just being childish. It's because they've not been brought up with the concept of consequences. Smack them across the face with a bat or a hammer or a shovel or a golf club. This is it. Your consequence for trying to come into this shop without wearing a mask is that you'll be in pain for the next several hours after I've pepper sprayed you in the face. That would work. If you knew trying to walk into a shop without a mask on or having your exemption visible, because there's no point in having your exemption if you've got it tucked away in your pocket or it's got to be visible. Well, yeah, mine do as well, Jen. The thing is, it's kind of like a car windscreen. You get into a car on a cold day, your breath on the inside of the windows fog up. That's all that's happening. Once the temperatures equalise, it doesn't steam up anymore. So, yeah, when I start work, my glasses steam up, and after about 10-15 minutes, they clear and stay clear for the rest of the day. But yeah, definitely keeps your face warmer when you're out and about and it's cold. Not that it is cold yet, it's just a bit nippy. I was going to report on multiple who used to beat the kids. Yeah, we just got moved beats. Yeah, the army get called in. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, having a soldier outside of the shop or soldiers patrolling through town. You're not wearing a mask. You're not going to get politely asked by a British Army. Um, no, the squaddie's not going to politely ask you to put your mask on. You're going to get shouted at loudly in front of everyone to make you feel small. That's pretty much all these people need. Good shoeing, and Yeah, if the army rebel. Not that I can see it. Um, come with live rounds. Yeah, well, I probably wouldn't need live rounds. A few blanks first in the gun, or the weapon, sorry, correct terminology. Yeah, a few blanks to fire just to scare people. Hopefully that's enough. And then some lives at the bottom of the mag. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I've always, the older I've got, the more I've realised how dumb some people are, and the older I'm getting, the more I'm realising how dumb lots of people are. Arrested David. Well, David Icke should have been arrested years ago. Um, yeah, I mean, I'll say different parts of the country are, very different. It's, ethnically, culturally, religiously. Um, I know you're being ironic, Kay. Don't worry. Um, but yeah, it's yeah. I think around here things will be a bit calmer and a bit quieter generally. Um, ah, it's the mad mower himself. Evening, Tom. How are you? Hope you're not mowing in the rain again or anything like that. Yeah. Only with a ride on, it's a lot easier than. I mean, I did kind of buy an electric one this year. Yeah, David Icke is crazy. His message is love. Yeah, that is the main thing. We just, treat everyone equally. It's not a difficult concept to grasp, but you know, if people are being taught through generations that someone with a different skin color is less of a human than they are, then Pro Edge Hobby Knife. Uh, yeah, so I'm not having any problems with the Swan Morton coming loose, but um, mine's a medical grade one. Yeah, why can't we learn to live together without killing one another? Yeah, that's why you love the fish and the shrimp family. Exactly. We all come together over one common interest. Doesn't matter what politics we have, what beliefs we have. We're here for the fishies. Um, yeah, we're going to be left wingers, right wingers, centralists, weirdos like me. Someone described me to ask my. No, so what are you? You left or right? Or you what? Well, I'm a communo-fascist. You got to be somewhere in the middle of that, and then you're sorted. Just everyone treat everyone equally. A guyist, yes. I suppose if anything, I would be a Darwinist. Um, yeah, it's that simple. Why there has to be politics and different sides. They should all be trying to do what's best for the country and the people in it. That's where they all went, is it, Amano Shrimp? Oh, that's why they're all out of stock. Yeah, good, solid little tanks, aren't they? So yeah, can't go wrong with them. The filters, okay, you know, they're not the greatest, but they work. They certainly move plenty of water. Me first, yeah, exactly. Like breathing. I mean, I came to terms with my mortality decades ago, but yeah, I, no, I don't want to get sick. You know, I've been sick. I've been on breathing apparatus in the past. It's not fun. I don't want to go back there. I've had tubes down my throat. It's not an enjoyable experience. You know, I would rather wear a mask for a bit, wash my hands more often than I normally would. But look a little. Oh, damn it! I haven't been to Lidl's for a couple of weeks, and I need another heater. I'd like to. Oh, I can't go. Can't go tomorrow. Can't go Tuesday. Yeah, I might be up. Wednesday might be my last chance to look. Ah, Rangers got them at 10.99. That's a result. Was in Pets at Home today, and yeah, the 25 watt one was 20 quid, and they just went up from there. So it was like, yeah, I'm not buying that. 300 watt for 11 quid. Damn. That's cheaper than buying a heater for your house. The old electric 3-bar fires weren't that bloody higher rating, I don't think. But yeah, so as Amano did ask earlier, I think it was Amano, and I just mentioned being in Pets at Home. I did get some bits this week, mostly for the redo on this little tank here. And so we shall start out. We have 2 pots of Tropico Taxophyllum moss, which I believe, or Taxophyllum barbieri, which I believe is Java moss. Oh, modelling questions. So I've got 2 pots of that, 1 pot of dwarf sage. Meh. 1 crypt Beckettii or Beckettii. Should do well. Should be enough light in that tank for some moss. Dwarf sage. Well, dwarf sage is okay. Now I've cleaned the algae off of it, it's starting to grow again. Nice chunk of bogwood. 20% off on all the decor and wood and everything in Pets at Home at the moment, by the way. So that was about £6.40, I think. A sizable chunk of wood. Whether it'll actually fit in that tank is another matter, but if not, I can use it for everywhere else. And then about the only piece of other decor they had that I thought looked kind of cool. It's one of those cast resin or concrete, I think. Pieces of rock. Whether I'll put that in with the criblets for now, I don't know, or whether I'll pop it in there when I rebuild, reset, degunk. The amount of algae in there is embarrassing. I wouldn't get 300 litre in those 24 litres. No, true, you wouldn't. Good dehumidifier options. Oh, gas fire, yeah. Providing you can get the exhaust, as it were, out. Wrote Java fern and moss on it. Well, it'll just go in, and if the moss decides to grow on it, it'll grow on it. Was planning on maybe getting some Anubias, but I didn't have any. So, and didn't really fancy trawling around the garden centre to have a look, see if they had any Anubias. Because me being me, I wore shorts and t-shirt, and it's about 10. What was it? About 10 degrees outside. 10 degrees C, which is what, 40, 50 Fahrenheit, something like that. I didn't really want to be standing in a queue outside the garden centre for half an hour. One for coals, another for buried females, third one for newborns. I just put all my shrimp in the tank and leave them be. It seems to work for me. But then I'm not trying to breed for any specifics. They're just, to me, they're just cherry shrimp. They're all the same, whatever colour. They're just cherry shrimp. Although saying that, I have got a white one in there and I have got a black one, or a couple of black ones. So they're kind of cool. Mostly red, so a few blues, a couple of oranges and yellows. Oh. I just noticed when I shut the back door earlier, I managed to squash a spider in it. Result. Next purchase. Oh, gold. Still looking for some more fisheries to go into here. Let's go with the 3 electric blue acaras, 2 bristle noses, Senegal bicha, bishir, bikir, bitcher, whatever you want to call it, spaz. And yeah, there's a couple of ember tetras and a couple of harlequin. And I think, well, I know there's at least 2 of the 3 clown loaches left. There might be 3 in there. There aren't many trumpet snails left, let's put it that way. Did I get a good deal on? 10 baby plex got me 10 baby bristle noses got me about 30 cherry shrimp, so I ain't complaining. 3 miscoats, certain areas I can see the primer. Mr. Hobby, I generally go 50-50 on Mr. Hobby. One drop of paint, 1 drop of MLT, Mr. Leveling Thinner. But yeah, I mean, just gradually build up the mist coats if you can. That's until you get solid coverage. That is my best advice. Rather than dump a whole bunch of paint on and risk orange peeling or anything nasty, just keep building it up slowly. I mean, this is a case of do as I say, not as I do, because I'm an animal with an airbrush. But yeah, I mean, I tend to paint things with 1 coat of paint. Main sails, fur and fins. Hello, hello, hello. Good to have you here. The more the merrier. Talking about all sorts of random things. We're actually on fish at the moment, so that's kind of a change. Well, fish and models, and K's damp problem. Don't take that the wrong way. That sounded kind of perverse. Yeah, so yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what other fish to put in with these guys. Whether another cichlid type would be a good idea, because obviously Spaz isn't going to be in there forever. So he's getting a big boy now, isn't you, Spazzy? Eh? Yeah, big boy. So yeah, it's and while yeah, things look pretty and the Akaras and Spaz are gorgeous, I'd like a bit more visible colour in there because say the clown roaches they hide most of the time, and you know what bristle noses are like for just disappearing for days on end, then suddenly appearing. This is it. Spaz won't be getting an upgrade. Spaz will be going back to, will be going to a wholesaler. I've already got this already sorted. He knows he's going to be taking him. But yeah, the growth rate seems to have slowed down considerably. Come on, Spazzy, make yourself known. Or we're going to have to. No, I ain't going to mess about with the camera today. But yeah, he's got plenty of time yet before he gets too big for that tank. I mean, now he's polished off all the guppies in there. He's got less food to eat, so he's not growing anywhere near as fast anymore. But he soon polishes off his pellets and algae wafers and anything else he can snuffle out. Like I say, it was a case of Spaz needs a big tank, and I think I'm pretty sure he's a Senegalese, but that should be the Akara's forever home as well. Like I say as well, it should be. They shouldn't get too big for the tank. They will only hit, I think, 5, maybe 6 inches at most. So they'll be okay in there, and they'll be big chonkers if they get that size, but that'll be fine. As I say, it's one of those things where we do on some of the fish keeping groups, some will buy a fish and that tank's too big, or that fish is too big for that tank, and they've got like a goldfish that size, or that generally is a goldfish, in like a 40-litre tank, and you go, well, no, that's okay now. I mean, it's gonna grow, but you can buy a bigger tank, or you can take the fish back and buy a new fish. Or if you have a bigger tank, you can move fish to a bigger tank. I'm sure some of these people aren't familiar with the concept of a net. 5 inches. How big is the tank? It's technically a 40 breeder. It's a 45 gallon, so it's 1 meter long by however long and deep. So they should be plenty fine in there. I mean, there's enough room for them to grow. They're not going to get stunted. Yes. So, howdy, Bob. How are you, my friend? Sorry I missed you this week, but by the time I've been getting back from work, I've been going, So yeah, as Julie says, a good size for a pair. Well, they had 3 in the shop, and I wasn't sure which were males and females. The guy in the shop didn't have a clue. He didn't even know they were electric Akaras. He didn't even know they were cichlids. So I took the 3, got them for a reduced price because I cleared that tank out for them. Got the 3 in the end, figuring that, well, 3, one of them's likely to end up at least 1 male and female out of a trio, aren't I? So then the 3rd one can then either go into a different tank if need be, or get moved. There he is. There's Spazzy Boy. Have I used bare metal foil and vinyl for tinted windows? I've used bare metal foil. I've not used vinyl for tinted windows. I just airbrush them, Tamiya smoke or clear yellow, orange or whatever. Yeah, Cara hard sex. Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I got all three. You know, if it was something like Cribs or Pistos or even Rams, which are relatively easy, then I'd have gone that one and that one. Yeah, so I think I've got 2 males and a female. Yellow stuff. Yeah, I've not used that for Genie window tint. I have used the AFV Club stuff though. That does work well, but that's for armoured glass, like in a tank. But yeah, I've noticed that one of the Acaras has got a rounder end to the dorsal fin than the other two. Well, that's about the only difference I can see. In it, hey? Yes. And I think the two boys tend to hang around together more, and the female spends more time on her own. But that's as close as I can get to sexing them. The shell dwellers, I haven't got a bloody clue what's what in there. For all I know, I've got 4 females or I've got 4 males. And they've each got their own little shell and their little territory that they guard. And there's no squabbling or fights. They just sort of like look at each other and then one decides the better of it. Some solution of paper molding. Let's make the heavy. Yeah, so the only time I've ever done anything like that was tissue paper and watered down PVA glue to make tarps for tanks and stuff. I don't even know if I've got any left that I've used it on. Don't think I have. I think they've all hit the hammer now. I know I did it on the Marder 3, but then I know that got smushed. Mainly just to upset fans of Dragon kits. You know, out of production Dragon kit, and people keep telling you it's out of production, so you then smash it with a hammer. Live. Hey, it's German, it's boring. Who wants to? I was only building it because I had it. I got bored halfway through it. Handheld grinder to get the roof cut out. You've got a Dremel with a cut-off blade, that can work, but they can be a bit hot and melt the plastic. What I would probably do is score it with a knife blade. Use a scalpel blade and literally just gradually score your way through, and be patient with it. Don't try and put any pressure on. Big old blob of, say, blue tack or something on the inside to support it. There we go. Here he is. Trying to swim in my ear and out the other side again. If you had a female that lost her mate, could you add another male? Is it frozen up or something on the other end? Am I buffering? As the numbers are dropping. Is my laptop downloading updates again? Maybe. Yeah, I think it's just my laptop decides it's going to download upgrades whenever I decide to go live for some reason. I turned it on yesterday, it didn't do anything. Turn it on the day, doesn't do anything, and then halfway through yeah, exactly, Bob. He just likes swimming through my ears. That's all it is. I stick my head in the tank, he swims through, has a good investigation. Some have said there's nothing between them. There we'll tell you. Oh yeah, one of those ones. Yes. Saying that, I'd turn the glue bits together and then paint them afterwards. I'm possibly more experienced. Yeah, so Bob, do you know with Apistos, do they pair for life? Or if, for example, a female lost a male, could you pop another male in and then they would start breeding? Obviously not instantly, but just wondering. Because unfortunately, Roberta killed Robert yesterday. Yes, I know. She's caught his size. And she made a serious mess of him. And he didn't fight back at all. She's not even got fin damage, any nips or anything. Here he goes. Is he going to... Oh, he missed. And yeah. Harem breeding. So if I were to pop another male in there, it should be okay. Obviously, it's got to be another Cacatoides, not a different flavour of a Pisto. Colour shouldn't really matter too much, but anyhow, well, if Tanky does, which I suspect Tanky might be a boy, then I might pop Tanky in there once the fry are out of the tank. But yeah, I'll say, Aaron, you've seen the way I build models. I don't exactly follow any of the rules, do I? I mean, hell, you see me build stuff in less than 2 hours. Blue Steel Birds are comedy. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I tend to get them done. Normally, I'm not this year, obviously, but normally a fair bit quicker than most people do. Yeah, so if I were to pop another male in with Roberta once the fry are out of the tank, that's the number one. I've got to get the fry out of there first. Well, I say before she killed him, she did get some babies out of him, so they've got probably going to leave him a week and a half, providing they make it that long. Then I'll pop them in the Zis breeder box, and once they've grown out of there, buy another grow out tank, unless I can clear one of the bristlenose tubs out, in which case I'll probably just buy another grow out tank and get rid of a bristlenose tub. Yeah, that's what I'm suspecting, Bob, is he might have been the one that was eating the babies. I mean, he was doing a good job of gardening, but it's like almost like he kind of forgot he was supposed to be looking after them. Because they would get to a certain point and then they'd just all disappear overnight. So whether he had like attention deficit or because dwarf cichlids, I know about dwarf cichlids. I've never had larger cichlids breed, but when they pick the fry up in their mouth to move them around to put them somewhere safe, whether he's picking them up in his mouth and going forgetting he's supposed to spit them out again and doing the old swallowy job. And yeah, so that might be what happened. I mean, she's a feisty little girl anyway, so she's only got to defend them from 4 Ember Tetras. And they know to stay out of the way, let's put it that way. They've been charged enough times by Robert and Roberta to... Gundam kit pissing off. Already built it full apart after spending 2 weeks. Perfect. Appreciating painting. Yeah. You have to be a bit careful with Gundam kits. Yeah, sometimes the plastics can react with things. Got a couple of Gundam kicking around here. I enjoy building them. Just put them together. Job done. But so I've not been up in the cave since June. So, you know. On help, I've got a part started T72. Yeah, if you've used anything with either enamel or lacquer, specifically enamel, the rubbery parts do kind of disintegrate if you get thinner on them. So when I'm painting them, what I tend to do is I build it. Lacquer, yeah, it'll be the thinners. The lacquer thinner is eating away the it's not ABS, the vinyl rubbery stuff. That's what's happened. So what I do is I build them up, go, yeah, that's cool. Then I pull them back apart again and paint the parts. So I'll pull a leg apart, put it all on cocktail sticks, prime it, paint it, put it back together. And then that tends to work. Just do like one leg, one arm, other arm, body, head, yeah, backpack, various other parts. We'll see how we go, and then eventually it gets done. Sometimes. I think what have I got on? Yeah, so I've got a part started T72 on the bench, and a half-built plague burst crawler. Think that's it. And there's Resin Rosie, but she's been up there for about 3 years now, I think. Yeah, getting up to 3 years. Resin Rosie's been sat there in primer, so I think I might as well just chuck her in a bin. She's not going to get painted, and I think I've lost one of the parts of her arms anyway. So, and it's not a model I could put on display anywhere or post pictures anywhere of either, due to the contents. It's not my fault her knickers don't actually go all the way up her legs, and she doesn't come with a skirt. Scud B and Sylvia, yeah, the Scuds, they'll take a bit of building for sure. Now the question is, are you going to be brave doing an Iraqi scheme? Yeah. It's always fun doing schemes that upset people. Like when I wrapped the Palestinian flag around the dozer blade on the D9R that I did in the Israeli scheme. That upset quite a few people. I mean, it's accurate. Russian and North Korean. Both cool. North Korean, yeah, you might upset a few people with North Korean Scud. I mean, not as many as I upset doing a Panther 2 in pink with Russian stars on it, but you know, I did that on purpose. Oh, thank you very much, Bob. Again, most appreciated. So, if you weren't here for the show and tell, um, all of the bits I bought today were purchased with money from such kind donators as Bob, Kayla's Aquatics. If you're not sub to Bob. Bob rocks. And the ad revenue from the channel, which pittance. Well to try. Tetra Micro Granules, which actually comes with a measuring spoon for some bizarre reason. I don't know why they want a measuring spoon. I figured a tiny measuring spoon. If nothing else, that will come in useful for feeding fry. Getting fry food actually into the water rather than just floating around on the surface. Because it's so light and small that yeah, that'll do the trick, Aaron. You've been listening to me too much, haven't you? Oh, right. So what else has been occurring? What else has been occurring? The pleclets are now going through a cucumber and a half a week. Plus algae wafers. Yeah. So hopefully I can get rid of some soon. Some being more than 10. Yeah. People are just very sensitive these days, Aaron. I've had work colleagues actually get offended and upset that I may have farted near them or burped or they're like, what, really? I mean, okay, the fact that I walked over to you, crossed my legs and made it sound like a duck, I can kind of get that. But the fact that I farted, woo, natural bodily function. Also, maybe I shouldn't have had those out-of-date egg mayonnaise sandwiches for my lunch before going to work, but hey, what are you going to do? Bless Bob. That is a top saying, that one. Run out of emojis to give. Behold, my field of emojis, it is bare. Right. I'm going to have to run and go drain a vein, wrestle a crocodile, so I shall be back in a couple. In the meantime, try and enjoy the fishies. Hello, Dave. Well, I'm going to take it also on a nap. Yeah, Jess, nap. Yeah, you could either do the work on the tanks and then see how you, and then have a nap, or have the nap and see how you feel afterwards. Although that will probably end up to no work being done on the tanks. So I'll do the tank stuff and then have the nap, or at least some of the tank stuff. So if you're like me, then naps can last a couple of hours. They have done this week for sure. Should have come on Xbox Live back in the day. Yeah. Oh, for those days. Don't have time for both. Nap. Definitely nap. And then do the fishy stuff later or tomorrow. Sorry, just paracetamol, getting a headache. Yeah, so I remember what the language used to be like on things like COD or Battlefront. Compressors on, headphones are on syllables. Yeah, got the old Model T Ford starting up in the bedroom. Yeah, they do get loud. Every so often, mine will fire up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. So it's just lost a bit of pressure somehow. Obviously, I'm guessing it leaks slightly somewhere, or it just decides that the pressure's dropped and just enough. It might be temperature dependent. It gets cold, temperature drop or the pressure drops. And yeah, it will just fire up at like 2 in the morning for about 10 or 15 seconds. And that wakes you up fast. It's only in the next room, but you know, yeah, it's one of those things. Remember to turn it off when you're done. Then remember to turn it back on before you start, because otherwise you get partway through partway through doing what you're doing and go, why isn't this spraying for it? Oh, right. Hello, Sand Creek 2. How are you? Welcome aboard. I suppose you pop another paracetamol. Amy, that was it. Hello, Amy. Let's forgive me, I'm really bad with names. At least I don't get to forget mine at work anymore because I wear a badge with my name on it. Sad thing is now mostly everyone in town knows what my name is. "24 litres? That's a decent sized fish tank, that is, Aaron. Great for a little hospital or quarantine or grow out tank or shrimp tank. Hell, it's actually bigger than my shrimp tank. Considerably larger than my better tank, but hey. A message about 20 long, how to get them and the extras haven't seen them in a kit. Oh yes, yeah, 3 litre tank. Yeah, that's not going to last very long at all. yeah, it's. I'll say anyone who is in the UK who's looking for a solid little fish tank, those Aquatown ones are really good. That's it. If it's fishy advice, Amy, then ask away. I'm sure we could all learn something from Bob. I say that is. I view my streams. It's not a way of like me sharing my knowledge. It's more a communal knowledge sharing. I'll have questions. Some of you might have questions. You might be able to answer each other's questions, in which case I learn from reading the chat. It's all good. Plus, my boss knowing I do this means he doesn't put me on a Sunday evening shift. So I said 20 long. All right, I'll go 20 long. I'll probably go try to figure out what I'd put in a 20 long to get it to work. And filter wise, I'd probably go with a sponge filter or two, maybe a small internal, or hang on the back as you're in America. And they're a lot more popular over there. Not really a thing over here. So yeah, hang on back filter. Probably one of the Seachem Tidal or the is it not Aquion? Is it Aquion? The one that's been around for donkey's years. Yeah, Petco's got the lids and the lights. I say if there's not a specific light, I'd probably go with the Nicrew or something like that. Similar to what I've got on my little tanks. Got that one over there. Aquion, yes. Yeah, that Aquion would be, yeah. As far as I'm aware, they do all the bits. A 20 long odd thing, 100 watt heater, Bob, sound about right for 20 gallon? I don't think there's a lid with lights built in that size. Yeah, so you'd want a separate. So yeah. Hey Griffin, how you doing? See, I'm learning slowly, but I am learning. Oh dear. What you like, Aaron? I mean, it's not like I smoke in my man cave. I've caused much consternation in hangouts before while I've been sat there with a ciggy in one hand and the airbrush in the other. Ciggy hanging out my mouth, airbrushing away. Hey, Sharpie, what? Are you spraying lacquers? Yeah. And you're smoking? Yeah. You nutter. Oh well. At least I'm not Sid's Cafe. Oh God. I mean, I'm not blowing my trumpet, but I see some of the modelling channels that I get suggested to watch. Oh boy. I think I know where some of those pro-built models on eBay come from. Just follow the live streams and you'll find a Bob. Or the Naked Senior Stickball team is usually hanging around there somewhere as well. From what I've read, Amy, and from a completely different continent, they do fits the 20 longs, but they don't do one with the lights now. So it'll be a separate light. As I said, I'd probably go with a Nicrew, unless there's another brand that Bob would recommend. Mine are like that one there is basically, it's a Nicrew, just got a different name on it. Anyway, something bad. Yeah, quitting 2017, feeling pressure. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's. Paul's had it with the people asking him every kit he shows or reviews, are you going to do a video build? And there's nothing going to put you off doing things more than people badgering you to do them. So I've done a few video builds. Mine are obviously completely different style to Paul's. Since I don't do editing, I just hit record and start building and waffling. Doesn't mean there's a lot of episodes, but 30-inch Phoenix Stingray. There we go. Phoenix Stingrays, yeah. I say another one not available in the UK, but it's probably a different brand. Well, yeah, Paul's tutorials are superb. I mean, mine suck, but hey, that's why I call them how I do rather than how to. In my case, is more how not to. Some of them have got quite a lot of views. Well, I think the last time I looked, the tarpaulin one was up over 8,000 views, and the soldering one was up over 5,000 or something like that. I don't know. I don't really keep much track of these these numbers. It was sheer luck. I realised I'd done 300. 300 videos. You mean cigarette butts, Aaron? Let me guess, you just turned your airbrush on and emptied your ashtray. Been there, done that. Graham, how the devil are you? Hope all going well with your new planties and your battle against the blackbeard algae. 100 watt heater, Amy. Yeah, so mine aren't Nicrew branded, they're Mine Licked, which I'm guessing is just a German importer of Nicrew lights because they look identical. Got them off of Amazon. I think they're about 20 quid. Went to grab a coffee and just your filter tips. That's okay. That's not as bad as when I did accidentally empty my ashtray with the airbrush after I just sprayed something, so it had a nice getting Shelleys. So you don't need anything too bright. Actually, excuse the state of the glass, but literally just here I have a Shelley tank. Oh, everything's tangled up, so we'll go like that. Keep the view away from, glass needs a good clean, but that's my full flex Shelley tank for Neolamprologus similis in there. They've done their fair share of aquascaping. That sand was originally fairly level. and it did fill that gap down the back there. But yeah, one thing I would recommend is floating plant though. It's the Fluval Flex 15 gallon or 57 litre. So it's about 45 centimetres square. Oh, there we are. Yeah, awesome little tanks. They do a 9 gallon as well. I've got 2 of these. Yeah, I think there's 1 Nerite snail left in there now. So I may chuck a few trumpet snails in. Oh, we might actually see some live aquascaping. If I can point the camera in the right area. And you see that one at the back was just spitting some sand out from somewhere. If I can keep them in shot, we might see more. But yeah, they're pretty much constantly moving sand, and I mean, all those bits of lava rock were originally right down the back in that hole that's been excavated. But yeah, as you can see, not the one up the front, but the one in the back is doing the aquascaping. I'm sorry for the lights, the bars going up and down, but yeah, that's because the LED lights aren't on full power, because Shellys don't like it too bright, and I've found that with the lights in the Fluval Flex, if you turn them up full chat, then you tend to fry any floating plants. Yeah, 15 gallon Flex. I mean, yes, they are expensive compared to, as you said, like an Aquion. You're just buying the bits. But as a tank, I do like them. They've got a built-in breeder box in the back. Some people call it a fry trap. I call it a breeder box. The first compartment at the back of the Flex is where all the fry usually end up, and just has to be a little bit. Yeah, don't need the height. You just need the floor space. Yeah, that's why I've only got 4 fish in there. If it was bigger, if it was a 20 long, I'd have gone for half a dozen, 6, maybe 8. But as it's only a 15, and it's relatively square, and high, yeah, I kept the numbers down fairly low. And yeah, 100-watt heater for 20 gallon. So was that 5 watts per gallon? 25, yeah, around about 5 watts a gallon. Yes, there is. Now we've got the camera out anyway, we can show you. There he is, there's Spazzy Boy. And one of the electric blue Acaras. But he full grown bristle nose, who Spaz is actually kind of scared of, because he got headbutted the other day. He's like, oh, she's moving, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to get my fat head out of the way. I'm going to hide in my corner down here. So, and then the electric blue Acara. And there's Bertie, the blackbeard algae munching bristlenose. She also eats snails as well. Although that is more accidentally that she eats the snails. If she's going up the glass and it happens to be a snail there, it goes in. Sponge filter, or hang on back. Oh, yeah, good question. You don't really need flow for them, but I would probably go hang on back, personally, if possible. Well, I mean, I would go with an internal, like the Fluval I've got in here. Yes, hello. Yeah. You're a little spazzy? Yeah? Yeah, you want a stroke? Typically, I'm at the grocery store most of the street. Yeah. There he is. He's swimming through my head again. I mean, no, for a shy nocturnal fish. um, yeah. Oh, yeah. The pH. You do need high pH. So, I mean, they do like sand. Uh, but if your water is fairly low pH, maybe a aragonite type sand, so it'll buffer the pH higher. Um, maybe some. I mean, if you've got soft water, then it might be worth adding a bit of hardness to it. Yeah, so I keep mine on sand. The gravel was just, or the lava rock was just in there in the bottom at the back anyway. It's what the plant was originally planted in that they kept digging up. Yeah, that's what we're here for, Amy. So all I can say is, all I can go by is what I've done or known or seen other people that I respect and know they know what they're doing. Um, or try and figure things out in my head as I go. It tends to usually work quite well. But yeah, I'll say they do like harder water. So if your water out of the tap is relatively soft, say around 775, you'll probably want to make it a bit harder if you can. As Val in his Shelly tank. Yeah, jungle valve works well, or corkscrew valve. It's just mine decided they wanted to dig everything up that I tried to plant. So I went with floating tanks or floating plants. Just went with Salvinia, as it's kind of duckweed like, doesn't spread quite as quick as duckweed, and is a lot easier to just pull a handful out every week. I mean, this is running basically zero nitrates now, so, and weirdly, that thing is running virtually zero nitrates as well, which I'm quite surprised by, given the size of the poops that go in there. I dare and test the water in the pleco tubs. That's probably liquid fertilizer in there. Probably not. I mean, all the pleco grow out tubs get a 50% minimum water change every week. Should we have a laugh? Should we do a water test on one? How I floating some stem cuttings. I kind of did, but I just got a pot of the Salvinia from Pets at Home, just like one of them. It's just got Salvinia in it instead, and threw that in the top, and it does the job. And if I want to put any then in the shrimp tank, I can, or in any of the other tanks, it's not a problem. It'll soon grow out and fill the tops. Where are my water test strips? I'll grab a water test strip and we'll have a look, shall we? Let's see how nitrate heavy a 10-gallon tub with about 120 plecos or bristle noses in it is. Here's where I embarrass myself really badly live on YouTube. Hey, the fish are healthy and growing and feeding lots. All right, so we just have the Aquacare 5-in-1 test strips. So let's have a look. This is going to be funny. Make sure we don't get the stuff that's evaporated on the roof. Right, 1 test strip, 1 bottle. pH 7.6, KH 10, GH somewhere in the mid-20s. No nitrite as expected. And the nitrate is only showing around 25, so that's a, oh no, hang on, it's changing. We're up to 50. So, yeah, but that's going to get a 50% water change. Hey Yamba, how are you? Hope all is well with you. Yes, we have been talking Shelleys. I've been talking pleco poop because, as you know, I have lots of that to deal with. Well, I'm quite surprised the nitrates are only down around 50. So I'm quite happy with that. I know some people say, oh my God, do 100% water change instantly. But hey, there's, as I said, there's over 100 bristle noses in there that are about 1 inch long. So, you know, you're not going to have 0 nitrate. Yeah, so question for you, Amber. I've got a couple of opinions. I just want to double and triple check my things before I do anything. Apistogramma cacatoides. Now, if you have what was a breeding pair and one of them dies, unfortunately, murdered by the female, could you add another male, and would they get on and then hopefully breed, or would the existing female kill the other male? And big Wookie hugs, Amber. You know you're loved here. Everyone in chat loves Amber. I think everyone on the planet should love Amber because you're awesome. Well, she attacked him and he died. Let's put it that way. Basically, yeah. he got murder killed, deaded. I mean, it's 4 times her size, so how she managed it, I don't know. But he was just a very, very chill boy. Yes. Yeah, I would probably add something that will buffer the water up a little, Amy. So some aragonite or crushed coral or oyster shells or something like that, just that hardness up a little more. Now you got crushed coral. Yeah, that'd be all right. I know they prefer it. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to do, Amber, was pull her out of the tank, maybe have a bit of a rejig and a good clear out and what have you, and then put them both back in at the same time so it's not her territory that's being invaded. Now, much like if, as we all big city betters, if you're going to put a better into a community tank, you put all the other stuff in first and then you put the better in last. No, you put the predator in finally. Okie dokie, I shall do that, Amber. I'm pretty sure young Tanky here is a boy, so we might get lucky. But before she killed Robert, there is some fry in there again. So yay, baby pistos. And also the baby cribs are now in their little tanky as well. There was around about 50 baby cribs. And no murder going on in that tank either. The Fluval Flex Farm, as I call it these days, as it is now a bristlenose and crebensis breeding tank that just happens to have a bunch of glow light danios in it as well. How do I end up with a 15-gallon tank that is breeding bristlenoses and cribs to the numbers that I can't actually get rid of them quick enough? Oh, joy. Let's just hope the Akaras don't start up anytime. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, that breeding pair I've got at the moment, I didn't have any cribs when I found that breeding pair in the tub. It was a tub that had been emptied of water, substrate, filter out, heater out, cave out, wood out, cleaned out of gunk, reset up, refilled, and then there's a pair of sort of young adult cribs suddenly arrive in there. There's a third one in there now as well. So where the hell did you come from? Atkins, how the devil are you, sir? Welcome aboard. Yeah, I must have a wormhole to crib dimension. That's it's got to be that. Oh, now Dave's swimming through my ears. That's Dave, the other female bristlenose in there, along with Spazzy showing off again. Yeah. Say, hugs to anyone that needs them or wants them or just fancies a hug. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Mustn't grumble too much. I mean, I could quite easily, you know. I'm British. I'm an old grumpy man. I can grumble all day long, but hey, no one listens. It doesn't get you anywhere. So I try and stay a bit more positive these days. Concentrate on the good rather than the negatives. And sending out healing hugs and vibes to all my fish fan buddies that aren't necessarily in the best of health at the moment. And don't make me tell you again, Amber, don't overdo it. I know you're just lovely and awesome, but you've got to look after yourself. You won't be any good to anyone if you don't. Right. Yeah, says that while pointing with a cigarette in hand. Yeah, right. Another case of do as I say, not as I do. Oh yeah, the good old classic box filter. You can't go wrong with a box filter. Best filters ever. There's a reason they came out about 100 years ago and they're still making them. Oh, well, if I can make you smile, then it's all worthwhile. That's one of the things I see about working in a shop. Is some of the customers I see may not see another human maybe that day. They might only come out once or twice a week to do some shopping. They might not see anyone. So if I can make them smile, be polite, pleasant, then I've made their day better. Yeah, if you're happy with sponge filters, Amy, go with sponge filters. Can't go wrong. I got mine from Amazon. What's the name of the company? Palku. They're probably imported from China, but yeah, so that's where the bubbles are coming from there. They're coming out the top of a box filter. Because, you know, there's nothing better at keeping your water clear than a box filter that's just stuffed with floss. Box mac and cheese. Oh, yeah, well. Duckweed in your food. Well, you know, it's one of your 5 a day. But yeah. Mac and cheese is good for what ails you. It's one of those things like chicken soup, isn't it? Where if you're not feeling great, there are certain foods that just help. Comfort foods. Yeah. Things like a nice stew, or they're normally fairly sort of thick and unctuous foods. Duckweed is a potential superfood. No, it isn't. No. And about 3 boys once, I realised and looked in my bowl. So much. Well, you know, what's worse, a little bit of duckweed or a mouthful of tank water? Well, how people keep managing that, I have no idea. Are they sucking on the siphon 3 bits? No, people. You sure you're not eating Soylent Green, Amber? Because Soylent Green is made out of people. Yeah. And the greatest happened when filters and pre-filters are gone. I can smell all the fumes. That's a problem I don't have, Aaron. I just don't smell the fumes anyway. Again, I'll do as I say, not as I do, because yes, I'm the guy who sits there in a closed room, spraying lacquers. Hey, I used to do it with polycarb paints, so duckweed in the coffee now won't kill you. I say, yeah, the people who end up with mouthfuls of tank water, it's like, how long are they sucking on the siphon for? You just got to, and then straight in the bucket. You don't have to wait for the water to start coming out first. Sponge out hover at 50 on 30. Yeah. I mean, if anything, most of my tanks are underfiltered. But I don't seem to do too badly for it. So, use car paint in your room once. Well, let me put it this way, Aaron. Many moons ago, when I a short, ill-fated stint of trying to live with my parents again. Yeah, we won't go down that road. So I dragged the compressor and air gun out of the garage. Oh no, buffering again. Yeah, so I dragged the compressor and air gun out of the garage. Went down to the local car shop. Bought a can of base float silver and a can of candy purple, and proceeded to spray my entire bedroom with cellulose lacquer in silver and then candy purple. It looked awesome, but apparently it stank the house out for about 2 weeks. I mean, I was a bit high afterwards, but okay. I didn't really worry about it too much. I was probably high on something else at the same time. Hi Don, how are you? Don't worry about it. It's one of those things we can't always catch everyone's streams. Now I try and catch the ones I can of late. Again, given the hours I'm working at the moment, Aquaclear, that's the one I was thinking of. Not an Aqueon, an Aquaclear. You put a graffiti tag up and something. Yeah, I sprayed all the walls because it was all built in. I mean, it was an old prefabricated house. So just after World War II. And all the wardrobes or closets were built in and metal. So I just sprayed the whole thing silver and then candy purple the next day. Yeah. Whoa! Bit high. I should probably be dead because I slept in that room as well. Works for me. Something with low stopping high plants and consistent water changes. You can't skip the water change here. So this is it. I mean, I may underfilter my tanks, but they get a water change every week, every single one of them, whether they need it or not. And I clean out the filters every week as well. Now, some will say, oh, you shouldn't clean out your filters. You should only do it when they really gunk up. But I'm kind of a believer in trying to keep the bacteria out of the filter, as it were. I'd rather have the bacteria in the substrate and on the plants than the surfaces, because then if I need to change a filter sponges or whatever, I can just do it, and it's not going to cause an ammonia spike or anything. I mean, how I changed all the ones in that U4 the other week, both sponges and both poly pads, no ammonia spike at all. Nothing happened. Just carried on. Yeah, exactly. There's no one size fits all rule for fish tanks. Now, I mean, if you're keeping things like hill stream loaches and fish from fast moving water, then yeah, you want a lot of water movement. You want a lot of flow. If you're keeping things that come from betters, for example, that come from slow moving or still water, they don't want a lot of flow. It's you have to look at the tank and what's going in it, and then balance it all out. So if people will say, no, it's one stop cola. Don't worry, Amber. I've not gone back on the sauce. But that's how I used to drink wine. Just pop the cork and just ugh. Yeah, as I say, I've had people telling me you can't have your lights on for as long as you do. So I mean, my lights are generally on 12 normally 13 hours a day my lights are on. And most of the tanks have no algae in them whatsoever. Okay, this little one down here is different, but again, I think that may be down to neglect, me letting mold build up a bit too much. The filter that was in there died, so I swapped it for a sponge filter, which then basically stopped the flow, and the algae started taking over. But now we've got another filter in there that's got a lot of flow alongside the sponge, and I'm going to redo the tank anyway. Hence why I bought new plants, new wood, and a new rocky thing to go in there. Yeah, so I would have thought, fish that live in a high flow environment like your hill stream roaches would probably seek out somewhere in the stream that's a lower flow for their breeding. No, just so the eggs don't get washed away instantly. Uh, oh, we're ready for a wet coat soon. Yes, is there a cat for Amber, or are we going to have to keep badgering Joseph this evening? It's worth it. Corey's the breeder, only a sponge filter. Yeah, it's one of those where I've got to figure out what tank I could put Corey's in, because I've got a funny feeling if I put Corey's in here, a certain young man here would probably eat them, or try to anyway, unless I got them fairly well grown. Yeah, I'll say with the radiation, the way your immune system is, Amber, I'd stay well away from as many people as everyone as you can. Try, yeah, keep overheads to a minimum, aren't we all? That's like one reason I'm hoping to be able to shut down at least one of the pleco tubs some point fairly shortly. Don't get me wrong, like, the filters don't exactly use a lot of power, but the heaters do. Ooh, yeah, that's it. Send Joseph with a camera. Tom's changing oil in your mower or in your car or truck, van, whichever. Yeah, send Joseph with a camera. Just don't let him out with that coat on, because if he starts doing that accent again, especially in public, someone's going to shoot him. Yay! Oh, yeah, that's it. Find the cat that likes you the best. Oh, it's got to be the proper English Brock, as they're known, the Brock. Just your bog standard black, white, stripy, and grey English badger. Now, there are some around here. You don't see them very often. Normally, the only time you see them is when they're splattered on the side of the road. Exactly how the cats pick their owners, or well, they pick their slaves. Yeah, much in the way that Zach decided to pick me. Despite me not feeding him or blah 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 for months or years, he decided I was cool and he started hanging around. And then he had his fusses and his luffs and his cuddles and his snoozies and his treats and his lace and his catnip sock, and he was a very happy kitty. Yeah. Souls meet souls, yeah. I think me and Zach were pretty much level. There was just, that's why he's still here. Sounds like a drunk Canadian. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. Yes, it'd be like, yeah, yeah. North American badger fish. I mean, the English badger isn't exactly friendly if you upset it or get in its way, but you leave them be. They just awesomely gorgeous animals. I know someone who had a badger set not far out of the not too far out of his garden, and he put a fence up, and the fence happened to be in the way of where the badger's foraging route was. And overnight, they just ripped a chunk out of the fence. Just carried on wandering through. Oh, I think most Canadians fear in the wild. Well, other than humans, it's not going to be bears. Judging by the conversation, probably a badger or maybe a wolverine, something like that. Something you wouldn't necessarily think would be a threat to human life, but probably give you a damn good chewing if it got the chance. Either that or Sasquatch or Timberwolves or now I'd go with humans being them. Yeah, or moose. Yeah. You see, that's something I've been doing of late. Is I've been giving the farm tank warm water changes, making sure the water I put in there is warmer than the water in the tank, hoping that slows down Spotty and Bertie. So yeah, Spotty and Ginger. As if I give them a cold water change, there tends to be eggs within a day or two. Yeah, the Wolverine thought it might have been. Um, Whereas if I give them a warm water change, hopefully that'll slow them down for a bit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. He could have lived in the Arctic Circle as a child. He's been out of it for long enough and living on a tropical island that what he thinks is cold, everyone else around there is thinking is a pleasant day. God help him when it does hit -20, -30, -40. Keepfishkeeping.com. Yeah, cool. Anyways, it's time for me to run before Father Fish turns up. So if I remember and I'm still awake, I will see you all later in Joseph's stream. If not, I'll be asleep and I shall see you all later at some point in someone else's stream, probably during the week, if not back here next Sunday. Yep, you know, Bob, you're more than welcome to stick links in. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in and for watching and for liking, and thank you, Bob, for your super chat. And have fun, people. Stay safe. Enjoy your fishies. Do your water changes. Snuggle your fur buddies. And have fun. Bye bye.